It began, as such things often do, not with a scream but with a sound. In 1878, in the quiet town of Amherst, Nova Scotia, a family named Teed lived in a modest wooden house. At night, they reported knocks on the walls, measured, deliberate, as though someone outside were rapping to be let in. The knocks grew bolder, louder, and soon they came from inside the rooms where no intruder could be found. The house belonged to Daniel and Olive Teed, but living with them was Olive's younger sister, Esther Cox, a 19-year-old described by neighbors as lively and well-liked. It was around her that the disturbances gathered, as if she were the eye of a storm she did not summon. The knocks became violent, thuds. Objects moved of their own accord. Furniture slid across the floor. On some nights, the bed Esther slept in shook as though gripped by unseen hands. Family members attested that they saw this with their own eyes. Esther herself began to suffer fits, swelling, fevers, and cries that she was being tormented by something invisible. Neighbors came to witness the events. Ministers and doctors visited. Reports multiplied. In local papers, in letters, in word carried by mouth. Amherst, once a quiet town, found itself named in headlines as the site of a haunting unlike any other. The disturbances escalated. Items flew across rooms. A knife was said to have narrowly missed Esther. A voice, faint but distinct, was heard responding to questions with knocks. Once for yes, twice for no. In one account, words were scrawled on a wall in chalk, claiming Esther would be set on fire. Shortly after, her dress was found smoldering without cause. The episodes did not occur constantly. There were stretches of calm when life in the Teed household seemed ordinary again. But inevitably, the silence broke. Esther, unable to find peace, moved from house to house, yet the disturbances followed her. At one point, she traveled to St. John, New Brunswick, hoping distance would free her. But reports of disturbances continued there as well. The story grew so wide that it drew the attention of Walter Hubble, an actor and later a journalist. He moved into the Teed house for 6 weeks in 1879, determined to record what he saw. His written account described objects flying, bedding torn, and assaults upon Esther by unseen forces. He later published these observations in a book, The Great Amherst Mystery, which ensured the story would not fade. Esther's life carried on beyond those years. She married twice, bore children, and eventually settled far from Amherst. Yet the haunting remained tied to her name. Skeptics argued that the events were tricks, hysteria, or exaggeration born of a restless household and the pressures of a small town under scrutiny. Others held that too many witnesses, too many records, existed to dismiss it all as fraud. What is certain is this. For nearly 2 years, the town of Amherst lived in the grip of something that turned ordinary nights into trials of fear. Whether it was poltergeist, trickery, or the unfolding of a mind under unbearable strain, it became a part of history. The house itself was later torn down, but the story didn't die with its timbers. And so the Great Amherst Mystery endures, an episode where testimony, fear, and rumor wove together so tightly that the line between what happened and what was believed has blurred beyond recovery. Amherst remembers it still, not with answers, but with the lingering lesson that once a house is named for its haunting, the echo can outlive the walls themselves.